Welcome to a special edition of Team Hotel TV. Today we'll be breaking our 2017 Hall of Fame class.
Yes.
And with me here, I got Leroy Moore and Chris Lar, guys. What do you guys think about this class coming in?
I think it's a good class. It's an exciting. It was hard. We had about 17 guys that were really worthy of it, but we could only select 5, and so that was the hard part. We had fans voting, we had coaches voting, Hall of Famers voting, and then the competition committee voted, and together we came up with these 5 good selections. I think they all have some commonalities that we'll talk about as we watch the video.
I mean, this is a great class. This can arguably be one of probably the best class or top 2 class that has been, inducted into the Hall of Fame. Every kid that's on here is deserving to be in the Hall of Fame, and I'm really excited about this class. I can't wait to show you guys.
All right, so let's get to it. Our first inductee into the 2017 Hall of Fame.
Yeah, watch it.
Leroy Moore, he really came in Philadelphia. I've been learning how to work with the kids more, understand them, and now I know how my coach felt when he was training me, and I understand what.
So, guys, how do you guys feel about Leroy Moore getting inducted his first year into the Hall of Fame, guys? You guys think this is a deserving choice?
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Leroy, his all-time stats is he has 50. He was a league MVP in 2016. He had 50 passing touchdowns, which is 15th all-time. He has 57 receptions, 13 touchdowns, 10 pats, which is 8th, 99 tackles, 14 interceptions, which is 12th all-time. So he has stats in all categories, which is really good. As a coach, I usually have teams that do pretty well, except when we play the Cowboys, and a lot of times it's because his fault that we ended up losing. So,
yeah, I mean, Leroy definitely deserves to be here. He has the numbers, he has stats, and his characteristic is great. I mean, me and Leroy, coaching him at first, we had our ups and downs, and, we were able to overcome that. As you heard him on the video, he clearly said after the summer camp, it helped him grow as an individual, and he understood, the hardship of being a coach. And, it was an honor to sit there and be Leroy's coach. Every time that man took the field, he was bound to sit there and make a play. That's what he was. He was a playmaker, whether he was playing quarterback, safety, corner, rushing, whatever you asked Leroy to do, he did it, and he did not complain. And he brought that leadership to our team, and he definitely deserves to get in.
Gotcha. Now if you have one
First
play,
ballot.
if you got one play that would kind of define Leroy's career as being his coach, what would you think that play would be?
Okay, I can't remember exactly what game it was, but he didn't have his jersey on that game. They blitzed 2 guys. Leroy spins, right, splits them. They pull his shorts down. He runs, jukes, the other guy holds him, makes the other guy miss, continues to run to the end zone about 50 yards with his pants down to his knees, picking them up and still scores a touchdown. Did not lose his composure, did not complain to the ref for the ref to give him the holding call. He just knew how to do one thing, and that was make a play.
Gotcha. I mean, you hit it on the point when you said this kid can play all kind of positions. He started at what? Was he a wide receiver? Was
Corner.
he a corner? And then he moved into offense, defense, and eventually led you guys maybe being one of the best quarterbacks ever to play for the Cowboys
He only
franchise.
played one full season at quarterback, which was, to sit there and do that off of raw talent, not playing quarterback at all. He had a little bit, probably like 4 or 5 games in 2015, but 2016 being able to play a full season, I wish we would have had 2 full seasons with Leroy. His stats would have been a lot better on the quarterback side.
I think one common theme you're going to see in all these Hall of Fame inductees are leadership. These guys are leaders on the field, off field. All of one commonality they all had was they were all a part of our summer camp, which is where we really focus on raising up leaders and being good, not just off the field, but on the field. And I think these guys all reflective of that, and he shows that. So he also did a really good job in summer camp, I remember. He was a good leader. He worked together well with the other coach, and those kids looked up to him. So I thought that was good.
You guys know Leroy too, so I mean, you can share a little bit of what you thought about his character and his skill on the field.
I think that's one thing you could say. I mean, the kid was definitely a brilliant kid. He was a smart kid, but definitely his leadership. I remember when he kind of first came over to me and kind of told me that he was thinking about playing quarterback, and that's when you kind of made that move. He's a kid that did whatever he had to do to make the team better, and he's a well-deserving choice.
Now, one thing, too, there's a distinction with some of the rankings, right? So some of the rankings that we have, right, the stats that we have on the website, really the stats show from 2008 on. And so we have some really great stats out there that are from prior 2008, but really it's a different era. Did the Eagles ever win a championship? Yes. In 1960. Did they ever win a Super Bowl? No, they did not. Not yet this year, though. And so some of these stats that are so inflated, they played 6-on-6. They had 7 count. I mean, there's a lot of things, and they didn't have to take out their one. So some of those numbers were really inflated. So really, it's almost like an asterisk. Not that they weren't important, not that they weren't good, but I think some of the 2008 on is really where the Team Mateo that we know now really began having its roots. And so the website kind of reflects that. So when I say first in this category, second in that category, kind of based on what the stats say in the website. So let's go to the next one.
Yep.
All right, this is our second inductee into the 2017 Hall of Fame. We have Pac-9, Shane Partlow.
They go, talk. Wait, keep it up, keep it up. Wait, keep it up, keep it up. Hey, do some talking here in a minute.
Yeah. That person or they? That person or they?
I'm about to point him out.
That's Josh.
Come here real quick. Excuse me, sir. What's up, sir? I hope that hit that the way it hit me.
I gotta check it, man.
We had to. He said he's willing to. He spoke with Ruben and
Yeah.
All right.
Shane Partlow is a well-deserving player. He went from ugliest player in the league to being inducted into the 2017 Hall of Fame class. Hey, Chris, what do you think about Shane's career?
I mean, 83 passing touchdowns. That's fourth all time. That's unbelievable. I knew this kid. He's my neighbor. I knew him when he was 8 years old. He would come over, and just look at him. You never imagine that he could be a quarterback, mostly because he was the biggest baby I knew. Right?
How many times you fed him?
Plenty of times. Okay. He was hard to work with in some sense. You know, you just had to keep loving this kid. But summer camp really is where he blossomed. He was is an area where he really began to grow as a quarterback. But not just a quarterback, but he began to mature into a young man. And so that's one of the things I'm most excited. So to see him kind of take 2 years to really mature as a young adult and to make some good decisions and to play well and to make it in the Hall of Fame, I'm floored, you know, and it's absolutely amazing. So I'm excited that Shane, congratulations, Shane, for making it to the Hall of Fame.
Shane, no one thought he would ever play quarterback in this league, and you know it was
Never
never
thought Shane would play quarterback.
I remember back in 2014. This is when you had what's his name at quarterback? Quiet quarterback. And it was preseason. The Cowboys had to play the Packers, and Buddy pulled his Belichick move, said his player was hurt. And I saw Shane come in to play quarterback, and I was like, this is a joke. This kid would never play quarterback. I don't know why he's playing quarterback. We're just going to run all over them. Fast forward, a year later, he's playing quarterback. He's the hottest quarterback in 2015. He's throwing all kinds of touchdowns, and he's not a mobile guy, so he's not going to beat you with his legs. But, you know, going into the summer camp, getting that learning experience, growing into a better person, it made him smarter, it made him more mature. So he said, I'm not going to beat you with his legs. He adjusted his playbook, and he beat the guys with his arms. And in 2016, he had a heck of a season, took his team to the Urban Bowl, and they ended up being Urban Bowl champions. He was Urban Bowl MVP, and Shane put up some really good numbers just to play quarterback for 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, Shane, having coached him a little bit, definitely one of the kids I'm most proud of. Definitely one of the most improved kids. I mean, if you were to tell me that Shane was going to be the quarterback to take the Packers or Pac-9 into the championship, I would have never believed you. But the kid, he showed some pedigree, and he learned playing in summer camp. So I think it's really important for you young guys out there. Come out to summer camp. Come get better. Shane put in the work there. He played quarterback there and won 2 championships as quarterback. And I don't know if he won one as a coach, but that's where he definitely kind of grew knowledge of the game. And shout-outs to you, Shane, man. Other kids.
Congrats.
Yeah, congrats. Other kids, look up to Shane. I mean, if the guy saying you can't play because you're big or slow or whatever, Shane, I mean, he worked on it, and he became, could be arguably the best Packers quarterback.
He's an elite quarterback. He's definitely an elite quarterback.
Yep. And the thing is he's not at the field every week now because he's at a job and he's working. And so now it's great for me to see him making positive decisions outside of the football field, and he's working hard. So I'm excited about Shane. So
Shane Parlay, here we go. Now we have our 3rd inductee into the Hall of Fame. For this player, took him a little while to get in, but is definitely well deserving. About time. Collier Rogers.
all right.
Pac-9. How many Packers? That's McKellar. Is there more talking, or is that it? Is there more talking? Or is that
I think it's a talking.
Okay. Yeah, so, hey, guys, Collier, one of the most elusive and most athletic wide receivers that ever played in Timoteo. Guys, what are your thoughts about him finally getting into the Hall of Fame?
I mean, I don't know how old he was when I first met him, but he was young. And he had to have been 12, 13 years old. And he had a quick temper. And he was a kid that you look at those early years and look on the sidelines, he wasn't always there. A lot of times he would miss out and he would quit, but he always found a way to come back. And it was always great because even though he would get upset and quit, we always accepted him back. And before long, he became a very important piece of the Packer history. And became a vital part. And to show now, to see him on the sideline now, coaching kids and helping them kind of seeing kids just like himself who may want to quit, who may have struggles and things like that, to be able to help them get to the next level. To see that kid who was struggling to stay on the field and now being a Hall of Famer is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Collier is a phenomenal athlete. I watched him play the majority of his years in the league. I watch him, just get better every year. Only reason why he did not get in the previous few years is because he went against, some really good numbers, and he was always there. Like, he probably just missed the Hall of Fame by a point. He definitely deserved to have been in last year and the year before. The kid has phenomenal numbers. Not a lot of people know that he even had to sit there and play quarterback in a playoff game, which actually it wasn't his fault when they lost. He threw a beautiful pass to Buddy's cousin. Buddy Cousins just happened to drop it. It runs in the family history. But Collier sat there and made plays, whether it was on defense, it was on offense, and even when they asked him to play quarterback, that he did not play quarterback all year long in the playoff game. Not only that, he's one of the best safeties in this league. You barely catch Collier getting beat deep, and I don't think you ever seen him get mossed in his league. He's definitely a phenomenal player.
Yeah, I mean, for me, coaching Collier was definitely one of the most challenging things I've ever had to do as a coach, but definitely one of the most rewarding things. I believe Collier should have been in the Hall of Fame years ago. I'm glad that he's finally able to get in. I'm proud of him. I mean, these are one of my guys I consider one of my little brothers out there. He's definitely family and definitely one of the reasons why I coach is developing relationships like that with my wide receivers and my players. I don't know if we've ever even see the best of Collier, what he had to do. Collier was a raw talent. He just had natural kind of skills. He played a little bit of high school, never really kind of played, any younger. So what he got, he kind of learned and got from Timoteo and, kind of playing his little experience in high school. So I think, with Collier, I don't know if we've seen the best of him yet, but he's definitely deserving. I'm proud of you, Collier, and congratulations. Now going into our 4th inductee into the 2017 Hall of Fame, we have Devon Mandy, Panthers.
All right.
community. I go to Fair Charter School. I'm just trying to make an urban goal to progress on campus. Lessons you learn at Tim Mateo and being a part of Tim Mateo and people you with, those are things that last forever. I learned a lot of lessons that's going to be with me through the rest of my life when I grow up. So, man, accountability, depending on others, respect, there's a lot of things that's going to stick with me.
Look at Kurt. Kurt, you like, what the?
Never happened.
Whew. Hey guys, one thing we can clearly see from the video, Devon had some passion.
He had passion, no doubt about
What
it.
are you guys' thoughts of one of the best sackers? Sackers, for some reason, it's hard for them getting into the Hall of
Yes,
Fame.
very.
Devon made it. What are your thoughts, guys?
Man, when I came to the Panthers, they had never made the playoffs ever. And one of my first steps was I had to find core guys, leadership within that team that could take them to the next level. And Davon was one of those guys. And like you said, he had passion, but he's also willing to learn. And he's one of the smartest guys on the field. Had huge, just great IQ. And I'm seeing the way he played on the field. He made other people better. And I'm seeing the same attributes today. Not only how he coached in summer camp, but also in how he's doing the Panthers this year. I mean, they're 0-5. And he hasn't given up on them. He's still calling these guys. He's still pouring everything he has into these guys to try to win these last 3 games. And so I'm proud. There's no doubt about it. He's the lead sacker, tied with one other guy with 54 sacks. He's incredible talent, and I'm glad he's in. No doubt about it.
Yeah, Devon was a very passionate kid. He loved the game. He was the heart and soul of that Panthers defense. I think the only reason why that defense was consistent was because of the pressure that he continued to put on teams and on quarterback week in and week out. When he was on the field, he was constantly motivating his players. He was constantly next to the coaches, giving his input, whether, all he did was play defense. But the one thing I will never forget about him is when he ran on the field, when Randall threw an interception, to pull the flag, and the referee did not even notice that the kid came from the sideline
Like I said,
to
he's
pull
smart.
the flag. He was a smart, passionate kid, and he did whatever he had to do to help his team succeed. He still does it. You might catch him sitting there coaching the Panthers one game, running out and pulling the flag. The referee won't even notice.
Yeah, one thing I would say about Devon, for some of you guys out there that might not be the most gifted athletically, Devon used every inch of hustle, everything that he had, he poured it on the field. He never left anything out there. And I think even some of these other great players, if they could do that, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be the fastest, you don't have to be the most skilled player, but if you give your best, your best effort. The play killer is one of the most toughest positions, and I would say it's tough because there's going to be times where you're going to get juked, and you have to be able to play through it. You can't let it get you. You got to continue to move and play and not worry about people making noise and stuff. So Devon, I give Devon credit. Definitely used the most of what he had to become one of the best players ever to play in the league.
And he was never intimidated. He was always intimidating other kids, other
Absolutely.
quarterbacks. He could have been the smallest guy on the field. He was still running over, knocking people over. I don't know how, but
I need to evaluate that tape again. Maybe that should have been a deduction or something for summer camp. But yeah, and now I guess this is our 5th. This is the anchor. Might be the most prestigious pick in the Hall of Fame. Might be one of the most controversial. Reggie
Not controversial.
Funches Cowboys.
I ain't even going to think about the Cowboys.
Yeah, there's no more talk.
Yeah. So say, guys, what do you guys think about Reggie? I know some people are going to be thinking that he might have leapfrogged some other deserving players, but I think Reggie is a great example of what Timoteo is and the player that he was. Guys, what are your thoughts about Reggie making it to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I think, like I said, this was a tough one because there's a lot of people that could have got this. That still are very deserving. I would say as deserving as Reggie. Reggie did get in, had 1 point to be considered from a Hall of Fame, And so I think when people have a Hall of Fame vote, that's something to really consider because as people have gone before him, see his value that he holds. One thing I like about him is I don't know if he's ever had that one dynamic, great, crazy KFC type season that just blows everybody out of the water. But he's been around for so long, and he's been so consistent, and he's been consistently good for a long time. And I think that that's good. And I think for a lot of players out there that maybe aren't the best in the entire division or the league or something like that, but you're consistent, and that shows you that consistency can over and over and over again. And being a great player like Reggie was, the Hall of Fame is in reach of everybody. So.
Listen, it definitely wasn't a controversy call. I mean, I played with Reggie. I watched Reggie play nearly every position as well. He started as a rusher, playing next to me. He started, not next to me, but in front of us. I was at safety. He played corner. He even threw a couple passes at quarterback. He played safety. And, I mean, the reason why he was never able to have a phenomenal year like KFC and Collier and Quentin is because towards the beginning of his career, he had Bam on his team. Yep. He had Keon. He had Eric, and Eric did a really good job spreading the ball. So he really didn't play offense for his first 2 years at all. Defense, all he did was play rusher at first, and then he had moved back to safety. Mm-hmm. And the years that he was playing safety, he had New, he had Quentin, he had Leroy. So he was always overshadowed by these very talented kids. But Reggie himself was very talented himself. One of the best flag grabbers I ever witnessed in my life. He always came to practice, every single practice. It was just amazing watching him grow. Watching him be this big to growing up making plays. And Reggie definitely deserves to get in. For those who don't know, he's played in 4 Urban Bowls, and he's won 2 Urban Bowls. Yeah. And he has, stats all across the board that, made him definitely a solidified Hall of Famer.
I think consistency is one of the best words you can describe with Reggie. And I agree with him. I mean, Reggie, he came in as a puppy and developed into a player. And I think even to play all those years is a testament to his dedication towards the team. And I agree with you guys. I think Reggie is definitely deserving to be into the Hall of Fame. Definitely a great flag grabber. He played with intensity and toughness. And he was going to give you another player who's going to give you everything that he had. So that concludes our 2017 Hall of Fame class. Hey guys, congratulations to all you guys. Hey guys, we talked a little bit about consistency. Come check out the huddle. We've talked about it today. We had Zach Ertz, and we had Jordan Matthews breaking down some scripture with us. Come check us out. It's fun, guys.
And summer camp's coming soon, so be asking for information on that because that's a great place for you to learn. Actually, Monday is the locker room. Right. For those who want to work summer camp, Monday, sign up on the app.
And that was all the Hall of Famers were summer camp coaches.
Every single Hall of Famer worked in the summer camp. You want to increase your chances of being in the Hall of Fame, work summer camp. Sign up today.
There it is. All right, guys, check you guys out.